If you've been following our weekly videos or attended any of our events, you'll know that Kathy and I spend a lot of time talking about emotional baggage because emotional baggage shapes our personalities. You see, your emotional baggage contains the events of your past, but more important than the events, the conclusions or the interpretation you made about those events, because that determines your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and your self-image. Now, Satan loves to fill your baggage. He creates wounding events, and then he whispers his conclusions or the interpretations he wants you to believe. And so that he wants to damage your personality, to damage your self-esteem, self-confidence, self-image, because he never wants you to achieve the destiny that God wants for your life. Now, there's a very interesting example of the effects of baggage on your destiny in the Old Testament. And I heard Chris Vallotton speak on this, Chris Vallotton from Bethel in California, and it caught my attention, so I wanted to share it with you. And in 1 Samuel chapter 10 is the story of Saul. Now, God had chosen Saul to be the next king of Israel, or the first king of Israel. He had already been anointed by Samuel, and the coronation day arrived. And so Samuel gathered the people, and they were ready to announce the new king, and they couldn't find Saul. And they eventually found him hiding in his baggage. And in verse 22, according to the New American Standard Translation, it says, Saul was found in among the baggage. And I think this is a metaphor for King Saul, because he had a lot of baggage. He had problems with fear and insecurity that dogged him his entire life because he never dealt with that baggage. And it caused him to be very jealous of David, and that's why he threw the spear, that's why he chased him for years, and that's why eventually he disobeyed Samuel and the crown was removed from him. His baggage made it impossible for him to achieve the destiny that was rightfully his when God anointed him. Now, the opposite story is in 1 Samuel chapter 17, and that's the story of David and Goliath. Now, at this point, David had already been anointed as the next king of Israel, but nobody knew about it. And in verse 22, it says that David had, of course, come down to see where the battle was. And in verse 22, it says he left his baggage with the baggage minder and ran to the battle. You see, in this metaphor, David got rid of his baggage so he was free of it and he was no longer hindered, so he could run and step into his destiny and become the great hero that he was. And so it's a perfect example of what happens if you hold on to your baggage and don't deal with it. It'll block your destiny, or get rid of your baggage and step into it. Now, how do you get rid of your baggage? Well, this is our entire ministry. I wrote a book, Emotionally Free, on it. We have a lot of videos on it on the website. In our resource section, there's lots of information on how to get rid of baggage. But here's a real simple way to tell if you have baggage. Do you have habits that you don't like and can't stop? Do you have behaviors that you don't like and can't stop? Do you overreact to things and wonder, why do you do that? Well, those are all indications of baggage. And so ask God, why do I behave this way? Why do I have that habit? Why do I overreact? And He'll start to show you events from your past, the lies that you believed about it. And there are ways you can pray with us through the book, through any of our videos on how to release baggage. But the fastest way to get rid of your baggage is go and see a Christian counselor, because they can help you pinpoint the events and walk you through the healing journey. So my challenge to you today is, who would you like to be most like, Saul or David? Do you want to hang on to your baggage and struggle, or do you want to be free of your baggage and step into your destiny? Now I want to hear from you. How did you deal with your baggage, or how are you dealing with your baggage? Just leave your testimony in the box below this video, because I'm sure it will encourage other people in their journey. If this is your first visit here, you need to get this weekly video every week by email. And to do that, just subscribe by filling out the subscription form, which you can access anywhere on this page. And I'll talk to you again next week, but don't put up with your baggage.